Have you ever noticed how the dynamics shift when you stop trying so hard? One day she's distant, taking your attention for granted, and the next, she seems desperate to win it back. What's going on here? Why does the pendulum swing so drastically? If you've ever found yourself puzzled by this sudden change, you're not alone. Though many men unknowingly fall into the trap of chasing validation, pouring their time and energy into someone who seems less and less invested. But what if I told you that the key to flipping this dynamic is not found in trying harder, but in stepping back? Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of inner mastery, offers powerful insights that can completely transform your interactions. Imagine reclaiming your power, commanding respect effortlessly, and becoming the man she can't help but chase. Intriguing, right? In this journey, we'll uncover 10 transformative steps rooted in Stoic wisdom that not only change how you're perceived, but also elevate your confidence and self-worth. These aren't just surface-level tricks. They're profound shifts that will redefine how you view yourself and your relationships. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover might just be the game changer you've been searching for. Let's dive into the first, and perhaps most crucial lesson. 1. Take the lead role in your own life. Picture this: you're watching a film, and the main character seems oddly passive. He's waiting for others to decide his fate, to validate his worth, and to dictate his story. Frustrating, right? Now, what if I told you that this is exactly how many men live their lives? They hand over the reins, making someone else the protagonist while they settle for a supporting role. This is where we flip the script. In your life, you must be the star. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control external events, we have absolute control over how we respond. This is your story, and it's time to take charge. Too often, men fall into the trap of placing a woman at the center of their universe. She becomes the axis upon which their world spins, dictating their happiness and sense of purpose. But let me ask you this: how can anyone respect you if you don't respect yourself enough to own your narrative? Here's the reality: people are drawn to those who live with purpose. When you take the lead, setting your goals and pursuing your passions, you send a powerful message. You're telling the world, I'm complete, and my value is not up for negotiation. This confidence is magnetic. It shows her that you're not just another option, you're the man who knows his worth. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself putting her needs, desires, and opinions above your own? Have you delayed your plans, hoping for her validation? If so, this is your wake-up call. Stop waiting for permission to live fully. The moment you prioritize yourself, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your confidence grows, and suddenly you're the one calling the shots. But this isn't about arrogance or selfishness. True leadership is about aligning your actions with your values. It's about living authentically and demonstrating through your choices that you're someone worth respecting. When you embody this mindset, you naturally attract people who appreciate and admire your strength. And here's the kicker: when she realizes you're no longer revolving around her, she'll feel it. The security she once had, the certainty that you'd always be there, starts to waver. This isn't a game or a manipulative tactic. It's a natural consequence of your growth. You're showing her and the world that your life is moving forward with or without her. So what does this look like in practice? Start by identifying areas where you've been passive. Maybe it's your career, your hobbies, or your social life. Reclaim your time and energy. Set goals that excite you and take action toward them every day. You'll find that as you become more focused and driven, your interactions with others, including her, will naturally shift. Let me ask you this: are you ready to become the protagonist in your own life? To stop waiting and start leading? When you make this shift, you'll find that people, including her, will respond to you differently. They'll sense your confidence, your purpose, and your unshakable self-worth. And that's when the dynamic truly changes. Are you starting to see how powerful this first step can be? Stick around, because we've only just begun. The next insight will take this transformation even deeper, showing you how to elevate your value and become someone truly unforgettable. 2. Elevate your value through self-improvement. Now that you've taken control of your life's narrative, let's dive deeper into a principle that will make you truly magnetic: self-improvement. Imagine for a moment the kind of man you admire. Is he confident, driven, and constantly evolving? Of course he is. This man doesn't settle. He pushes himself every day to be better, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The good news, you can be that man. When a woman sees that you're not just coasting through life, but actively striving to become the best version of yourself, she can't help but take notice. Value recognizes value. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about amplifying who you are, enhancing your strengths, and working on your weaknesses. Here's a truth that's both humbling and empowering. Your value isn't static. It grows with every new skill you learn, every goal you achieve, and every challenge you overcome. Think about this. Are you investing in yourself daily? Are you pursuing passions, mastering your craft, and expanding your horizons? If not, why would anyone else, including her, see you as someone worth investing in? Self-improvement isn't about proving anything to her or anyone else. It's about setting a standard for yourself, a commitment to growth that no one can take away. When you embrace this mindset, you become someone who doesn't just attract attention but commands it. You're no longer chasing approval because you're too busy building a life that you're proud of. Let's get specific. How are you improving your physical health? Are you hitting the gym, eating well, and taking care of your body? How about your mental and emotional growth? Are you reading, learning, and practicing mindfulness? These daily investments compound over time, and the results speak for themselves. A man who values himself inspires others to do the same. And here's the kicker. When she sees that you're thriving without relying on her validation, it stirs something powerful within her. The certainty she once had starts to waver. Is he slipping away? She wonders. What's changed? This uncertainty can be incredibly compelling. Suddenly, she's not just thinking about you, she's reevaluating how much she values your presence. But this isn't about playing mind games, it's about genuine growth. When you elevate your value, you do so for yourself, not for external validation. The respect, admiration, and attraction you receive are natural byproducts of the man you're becoming. So what's your next move? Set goals that challenge and excite you. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Whether it's mastering a new skill, advancing in your career, or improving your physical health, commit to a path of continuous improvement. And don't just keep this transformation to yourself. Share your progress with others, not to boast, but to inspire. Now let's make this interactive. What's one area of your life you're committed to improving starting today? Share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and support your journey. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video to show that you're all in on your self-improvement journey. Remember, every step you take to better yourself brings you closer to becoming the man you were always meant to be. Let's keep the momentum going, because what comes next will show you how to stop chasing and let her feel the weight of your absence. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. 3. Stop chasing and let her feel the loss. Now let's confront one of the most common mistakes men make when they sense a woman pulling away. They chase. It's an almost instinctive reaction. You feel her slipping through your fingers, so you try harder, text more, ask questions, seek validation, and cling to the hope that more effort will reignite her interest. But here's the hard truth. Chasing only pushes her further away. Why? Because chasing signals desperation, and desperation erodes respect. It tells her that you're prioritizing her above yourself, that your sense of worth is tied to her approval. This imbalance shifts the power dynamic, making you seem less valuable in her eyes. After all, why should she respect someone who doesn't respect himself enough to walk away when he's not valued? Instead of chasing, what if you did the opposite? What if you stopped? When you step back, you create space for her to reflect, to feel the void your absence leaves. This isn't about manipulation, it's about reclaiming your self-worth. You're showing her that while you care, you won't compromise your dignity or self-respect to keep her around. Think about it. Have you ever experienced the weight of losing something you once took for granted? The same principle applies here. When you stop being the one to initiate to seek her out, she'll begin to notice the change. She'll start questioning why you're not chasing anymore. And in that questioning, she'll feel the loss of control over the dynamics you once held. Here's where Stoicism comes into play. By mastering your emotions and resisting the urge to act impulsively, you maintain your composure and dignity. You demonstrate that you're not controlled by the situation or by her actions. This sense of calm detachment is incredibly powerful. It shifts the narrative from "he needs me" to "I might be losing him." And here's the beauty of this approach. When you stop chasing, you focus on yourself. Your energy is no longer wasted on trying to win her back. Instead, it's redirected toward your growth, your goals, and your fulfillment. This transformation is palpable, and she will sense it. The man who once seemed overly eager is now the man who values himself and his time. That's an attractive quality that's hard to ignore. So resist the urge to chase. Trust that stepping back will do more to reignite her interest than any desperate attempt to pull her closer. Let her feel the weight of your absence, and you'll see how the dynamics begin to shift in your favor. 4. Prioritize your time and effort wisely. Time, it's the most precious resource you have. Once spent, it's gone forever. And yet, how often do we find ourselves wasting it on people who don't value it? How many men spend hours, days, even weeks waiting for a woman's attention, hoping for her to recognize their worth? This behavior isn't just unproductive, it's a declaration of your own insignificance. Stoicism reminds us to treat our time as sacred. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized that life is short and we must make deliberate choices about how we spend our days. Why should you invest your most valuable resource in someone who doesn't reciprocate or appreciate your effort? Here's the shift. When a woman pulls away or fails to respect your time, you don't double down on trying to win her over. Instead, you reassess. Is this where your energy is best spent? If the answer is no, it's time to redirect your focus toward pursuits that truly matter: your career, your passions, your personal growth, and relationships with people who uplift and inspire you. By doing this, you send a clear message: your time is valuable and not everyone gets unlimited access to it. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely valuing yourself and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When you start prioritizing your time wisely, something interesting happens. You naturally become more selective, and that selectiveness amplifies your value. But think about it from her perspective. If you're always available, always waiting for her, you become predictable. But when you start to pull back, when you focus on your own life and goals, you become a man of intrigue. She begins to wonder, what's he up to? Why isn't he chasing me anymore? This subtle shift creates a dynamic where she starts to value your time and presence far more. It's important to note that this isn't about creating artificial scarcity. It's about living a full, rich life where your time is naturally occupied with meaningful activities. When you prioritize yourself, you stop seeking validation from others. Your sense of worth comes from within, not from how much attention she gives you. So the next time you catch yourself waiting around for someone to notice your value, stop and ask, is this the best use of my time? Redirect your energy toward what truly matters and watch how the dynamic shifts. When you value your time, others will follow suit, and that includes her. 5. Master the art of controlled mystery. Let's be honest, predictability can kill attraction. Have you ever felt like you shared too much too soon, only to watch her interest fade? You're not alone. Many men fall into the trap of believing that the quickest way to a woman's heart is through complete transparency. They think laying all their cards on the table will build trust and connection. But here's the truth: what's easily understood is rarely valued. Think about your favorite movies or books. What keeps you hooked? It's the mystery, the anticipation of discovering something new, the thrill of uncovering hidden layers. The same principle applies to attraction. When you become an open book, easily read and understood, you remove the excitement of discovery. But when you master the art of controlled mystery, you become someone who's endlessly intriguing. So how do you create this allure? It's not about being secretive or deceptive. Instead, it's about revealing just enough to pique her curiosity while leaving her wanting more. Share your thoughts and feelings thoughtfully, but don't lay everything bare. Let her wonder about your inner world. Let her piece together the puzzle of who you are. This doesn't mean you have to play games or keep her guessing indefinitely. The goal is to cultivate an air of composure and confidence, showing that you're in control of what you share. When she asks about your plans or your feelings, provide thoughtful answers, but don't overshare. Let your actions speak louder than your words. This balance keeps her engaged, drawing her closer to uncover the deeper layers of your personality. Here's where Stoicism ties in beautifully. A true Stoic practices restraint, not out of fear but out of wisdom. Stoicism teaches us to value what we control, and in this case, it's your emotional exposure. By controlling what you reveal and when, you project confidence and self-respect. You're telling her, I don't need to seek your validation by oversharing. I know my worth, and I'll let you in when it feels right. Over time, this approach creates a dynamic where she's more invested. She'll find herself thinking about you, wondering what's going on in your mind, even craving a deeper connection. Mystery isn't about withholding, it's about crafting an experience where she's excited to learn more about you. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt that sharing too much hurt your chances in a relationship? Or maybe you've experienced the power of mystery firsthand. Share your stories in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else navigate this delicate balance. And if this idea of controlled mystery resonates with you, don't forget to like this video to let us know you're embracing the Stoic art of restraint. Remember, attraction isn't about overwhelming someone with your presence. It's about creating a space where they want to come closer, to understand you more deeply. Master this, and you'll find that her curiosity and her admiration will only grow stronger. Stay tuned, because we're just getting started. 6. Stay selectively unavailable. There's something undeniably powerful about scarcity. Think about it. Why do people place such high value on rare gems or exclusive opportunities? It's simple. What is limited is often more desirable. The same principle applies to your time and attention. If you're always available, always eager to respond or meet up at a moment's notice, you risk becoming predictable and worse, taken for granted. But when you learn to stay selectively unavailable, you shift the dynamic entirely. Let's be clear. This isn't about playing hard to get or feigning disinterest. It's about living a life so full and meaningful that your availability naturally becomes limited. When you're genuinely engaged with your passions, your work, and your growth, you won't have endless hours to dedicate to any one person. This scarcity of your time makes it inherently more valuable. From a Stoic perspective, time and attention are among our most precious resources. They're finite, and once given, they cannot be reclaimed. This is why Stoicism encourages us to spend them wisely, investing in pursuits and people who bring real value to our lives. By being selectively unavailable, you're not only protecting your time but also sending a clear message. Your life is rich and purposeful, and not everyone gets unlimited access to it. When she reaches out, don't always be immediately accessible. If you're busy, let her wait. If she wants to meet, weigh it against your other priorities. This isn't about being dismissive, but about showing that your world doesn't revolve around her. And here's the fascinating part. When you're not constantly available, she begins to value the time she does get with you. Each interaction becomes more significant because it's not guaranteed. This subtle shift can have a profound effect on how she views you. The man who was once always there, ready to drop everything, is now someone whose time must be earned. She'll start to reflect on why you've become less available. Is it because you're focused on other important aspects of your life? Is she losing her hold on your attention? These questions create a sense of urgency, driving her to seek out your company more actively. What's more, this approach aligns perfectly with your own growth and development. By prioritizing your goals and pursuits, you're naturally improving yourself. You're no longer seeking validation through constant interaction. Instead, you're building a life that's fulfilling on its own. This independence and focus make you infinitely more attractive because they show that your sense of worth is internally driven. In essence, staying selectively unavailable is about balance. It's about creating space for her to miss you, to appreciate your presence when she has it, and to recognize that your time is a privilege, not a given. This isn't a tactic, it's a reflection of a life well lived. And as she begins to notice this shift, she'll realize that the man she once took for granted is now someone she doesn't want to lose. 7. Let her experience the fear of losing you. There's a moment in every relationship when the balance of power subtly shifts, and she begins to take your presence for granted. You've been there, consistently available, providing comfort and attention, and somewhere along the way the spark of urgency fades. But what happens when that constant presence disappears? When she starts to sense the possibility of losing you, that's when the dynamic changes dramatically. Here's the thing, people often don't realize the true value of something until they're at risk of losing it. This isn't unique to romantic relationships, it's a universal truth. The fear of loss can be a powerful motivator, stirring emotions and prompting action in ways that simple attraction or affection cannot. And it's precisely this fear that you must allow her to experience. When you begin to step back, no longer initiating every conversation, no longer eagerly agreeing to every plan, you create a noticeable void. This isn't about playing games or withdrawing affection as a form of punishment. It's about giving her space to reflect on what your presence truly means to her. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and when she feels the weight of that absence, she'll start to reconsider her own actions and priorities. This shift is crucial. She begins to realize that your attention and time were not as guaranteed as she once believed. The comfort of knowing you'd always be there starts to erode, replaced by a growing sense of urgency. What if he's moving on? She might think. What if someone else is catching his eye? These thoughts, driven by the fear of losing you, can reignite her interest in a profound way. Stoicism teaches us to remain composed and unaffected by the whims of others, to find our sense of worth and peace within ourselves. By embodying this principle, you naturally detach from the need for constant validation. You're no longer seeking her approval because you understand that your value doesn't hinge on her presence. This emotional independence is not only liberating for you but also incredibly attractive to her. The key here is authenticity. Your withdrawal should stem from genuine self-respect and the pursuit of a fulfilling life, not as a calculated move to provoke a reaction. When your actions align with your own growth and well-being, the shift in dynamics is organic and undeniable. She'll sense that you're not pulling away to manipulate her, but because you're focused on your own path. And when she starts to feel the fear of losing you, her behavior will likely change. She may become more attentive, more eager to connect, and more invested in the relationship. This is the natural result of her realizing that you're not someone who will stick around no matter how you're treated. You have standards, you value yourself, and you won't settle for less than you deserve. Ultimately, allowing her to experience this fear isn't about creating insecurity, but about fostering a deeper appreciation for your presence. It's a reminder that your time and energy are valuable and that you won't waste them on someone who doesn't fully recognize their worth. This realization can be a turning point, one that reignites the connection and brings a renewed sense of balance and mutual respect to the relationship. 8. Don't chase after her. It's a familiar scenario. She starts pulling away and instinctively, you feel the urge to close the gap. You text more, call more, and make every effort to win her back. But the more you chase, the further she seems to drift. Why is that? Because chasing communicates one thing loud and clear: you're desperate for her validation. And nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. When you chase, you're essentially telling her, I need you to complete me. This not only undermines your own value, but also shifts the power dynamic entirely in her favor. She becomes the prize while you're the one scrambling for her attention. But here's the truth. The moment you stop chasing, you begin to reclaim your power. You signal that you're a man who knows his worth and doesn't need anyone's approval to feel whole. Let me ask you this. How do you feel when someone constantly chases after you, needing your attention and validation? It's draining, isn't it? The same applies to her. When you stop the pursuit and instead focus on yourself, you create a much more compelling dynamic. You become the man who's secure, confident, and in control of his life, someone worth chasing. This is where Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from within, from cultivating inner peace and independence. When you stop seeking external validation, you embody these principles, showing that your happiness and self-worth are not tied to her or anyone else. This shift in mindset not only liberates you but also makes you more attractive. You're no longer the man who needs her attention, you're the man who commands respect simply by being. And here's the best part. When you stop chasing, you give her the space to miss you. She starts to feel the absence of your presence, your attention, and your energy. This creates a void that she'll instinctively want to fill. Suddenly, she's the one initiating contact, the one wondering why you've pulled back. The dynamic shifts, and she begins to see you in a new light, a man of value, confidence, and self-respect. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever stopped chasing someone and noticed a change in their behavior? Or perhaps you've experienced the opposite and learned a hard lesson about the dangers of chasing. Share your stories in the comments below. Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if this idea of letting go resonates with you, don't forget to like this video to show your commitment to embracing Stoic principles in your relationships. Remember, the key isn't about playing games or manipulating her emotions. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to place your worth in someone else's hands. When you stop chasing, you stop seeking approval, and in doing so, you become the kind of man who doesn't just attract attention but commands it. 9. Elevate your value through self-improvement. When she starts pulling away, it can feel like the ground is shifting beneath you. But in reality, this moment is a hidden opportunity, a chance to focus on what truly matters: your growth. Instead of chasing after her or trying to win back her attention, turn inward and ask yourself a powerful question. How can I elevate my value? Here's the truth. Attraction is not static. It ebbs and flows, shaped by how you carry yourself and how others perceive your self-worth. If you want to be the kind of man who commands respect and admiration, you must continuously strive to become better. This isn't about superficial changes or quick fixes, it's about deep, consistent self-improvement. Consider this. What are the areas of your life that you've been neglecting? Is it your physical health, your career, your personal passions? Now is the time to take those aspects seriously. Start hitting the gym, not just to look better, but to feel stronger and more confident. Invest time in advancing your career or learning a new skill that excites you. Dive into hobbies that ignite your passion and remind you of your unique talents. A man who is always growing is a man who is always in demand. But self-improvement isn't just about external achievements. It's also about cultivating a strong, resilient mindset. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of inner peace and emotional mastery. By adopting this philosophy, you can learn to remain composed and focused even when external circumstances, like a woman pulling away, test your patience. When you commit to elevating your value, something incredible happens. You stop seeking validation from others because you're too busy building a life that fulfills you. Your confidence becomes rooted in your actions and progress, not in anyone else's approval. This shift is magnetic. Women are naturally drawn to men who are confident, purpose-driven, and self-sufficient. As you grow, she'll notice the change. She'll see that you're not the same man she once knew. You're better, stronger, more focused. This realization can spark a powerful reaction. The man she once felt comfortable pull away from is now someone she fears losing to someone else. But here's the beauty of it. You're not improving yourself for her, you're doing it for you. And that's what makes it so impactful. In the end, elevating your value is about living a life that excites and fulfills you. It's about becoming the kind of man who inspires respect, admiration, and desire. not because you're chasing those things, but because you embody them. This transformation not only changes how she sees you, but, more importantly, how you see yourself. 10. Take the lead role in your own life. We've come full circle now to perhaps the most transformative principle of all, becoming the protagonist of your own story. It's time to stop waiting for external validation, stop reacting to the whims of others, and start taking deliberate action to craft a life that reflects your Christian values, passions, and purpose. Too many men make the mistake of placing someone else, often the woman they're pursuing, at the center of their lives. She becomes the focus of their thoughts, their decisions, and their energy. But here's the hard truth. No one respects a man who abandons his own journey to orbit someone else's. If you want to be truly admired, you need to be the leading man in your own life, not a supporting character in hers. What does this mean in practice? It means living with intention. It means setting clear goals for yourself and taking steps toward them every day. Whether it's advancing in your career, mastering a new skill, or building stronger relationships with the people who genuinely matter to you, every decision you make should align with your vision for the life you want to lead. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for this. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our choices, and our mindset, and to let go of everything else. When you adopt this perspective, you stop being swayed by external factors like whether she's giving you attention or pulling away. Instead, you remain steady, driven by your own purpose and values. Here's the paradox. When you stop chasing her and start leading your own life, she'll naturally be drawn to you. Why? Because leadership, confidence, and purpose are incredibly attractive. A man who knows where he's going and isn't afraid to go there alone stands out in a world full of people seeking approval. He's a man who commands respect without demanding it. But even more importantly, taking the lead in your life transforms how you see yourself. You're no longer defined by someone else's validation or the ups and downs of a relationship. Your worth comes from within, rooted in the knowledge that you're living authentically and with purpose. This inner confidence radiates outward, influencing every interaction and every relationship you have. So what's the first step? Start by identifying the areas of your life where you've been passive or reactive. Where have you been waiting for someone else to make a decision or give you direction? Take ownership of those areas. Make a plan, take action, and don't look back. This journey isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. And as you do, you'll find that not only does your own sense of fulfillment grow, but so does the respect and admiration of those around you, including her. You've made it this far, you're already on the path to transformation. The principles we've discussed, rooted in Stoicism and self-mastery, are not quick fixes or superficial tactics. They're a blueprint for living a life of purpose, confidence, and authenticity. And when you embody these principles, you'll find that the dynamics in your relationships naturally shift in your favor. Now it's time to take action. Reflect on what you've learned and start applying these insights to your own life. If you've had any breakthroughs or moments of clarity while reading this, I'd love to hear about them. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more empowering content. Thank you for being part of this journey. Here's to your growth, your success, and your unstoppable confidence. Stay strong, stay focused, and remember, the best is yet to come.